Is it recording? I think it's recording. Okay, we're bound and determined to finish page 3 today. And that means blocking in large sections of black ink. Which might be boring. And yet, it still requires a lot of care because if you don't do it nicely, it won't look good. So, well, luckily we can do a lot of it at a time. See, I just knocked that one out real quick. I think that the trick is divide and conquer. Just do a little bit at a time. In other news, it's looking good. I mean, things are looking good on this comic. I'm leaving, you can see I've kind of blocked it out, but I'm going to use the Grindhouse palette knife to spread the ink closer. If you don't know what that looks like, I'll show you here in a second, because we're approaching that time and we're going to have to do it. Okay, and then how about this one real quick? All right, same here. I just need to get a little bit more of an edge. We're going to do it around the spider character right here, the time spider. Or one of the time spiders. I'm actually really looking forward to doing some pixel art today. I had an idea today. I was looking at my pixel art and it looks cool. I mean, it's kind of a whimsical looking art form, but it's they might make good stickers, so I might make those into stickers. I've got, what's today, the 7th? I've got 6 so far because you do one a day, or I do one a day. And you're supposed to do one for every day in September, which is how I plan on doing it. Okay. I had a couple of ideas for this character as he's coming in. One idea was maybe I should draw him in negative. I just draw him in white outline. It's a good idea. I don't know if I should do the palette knife now. What if I wonder if there's an easy way to get a negative effect. Is there or isn't there? Because with a negative, this would look really cool. Okay, so I'm on layer 16 here. The character is on layer Inky right here. Let me just look it up. Because if there is, it would be under this thing right here. Chromatic, liquefy, clone, bloom, glitch, noise, sharpen. Curves, maybe, or color balance. There's got to be a way. All right. Let's look it up. Fortunately, I need to get a browser up. Get a negative effect and Procreate. We're going to reverse and turn the black to white and the white to black. How to create outlines. Special effects. How to invert colors on Procreate. This is exactly like that, called negative glow. Okay. Open the image, tap on the adjustments. That's this thing. Select invert, and your colors will now be inverted. Okay. Let's give it a shot. First of all, let's cut the spider out, put him on its own image. Okay. This is over in Inky. Oh, stupid. Come here. Okay. Now we should see this as its own thing, just the spider, right? And that means, okay, in order to see it, let's make sure that the selection goes above layer 16. And then layer 16, we're going to fill in with black. I can't make anything easy. If it involves computers, it can never be easy. All right. We're just creating a fill outline because we're going to black this whole area out. And then this right here. Okay. Now let's take this image right here, which is our spider. Okay. Open the image, tap on the adjustments tool. Just want to make sure, what's the adjustments tool? Hang on 1 second. We got to figure this out. Oh, it shows him doing it, so it is. Can definitely be done. Could it be this? I see color fill. There it is, invert. It's right there. Okay. So if I invert it, hold on. Select. Um, invert. Come on, man. Hmm. Let's rename it. That's not inverting it at all. Oh, it is. It is. It's inverted. It's just not opaque. What's the deal? What's the deal? Oh, look. Yeah, it is. Hang on. Copy. What am I doing wrong? There's got to be an answer. Could it be? It's not this. This won't do it. Okay. Perhaps we could do it with this. And do the curves. There it is. What if we do it like that? I feel so clever for having figured that out on my own. Yeah, okay, so I could do it this way. And what if we have the guardian spider always show up as this inverted ghostly form? That might be kind of cool. All right. Now let's just make sure where I am. Layer 16. Why is this line doing this? It should not go in front of that line because that's the ink layer. So if the ink layer... Okay, well, we don't know. We don't know why it's doing that. We do know this. All right, we can... we do know that that does not work. That did work, okay. So we've solved one problem. We've created other problems, but we've solved one problem, which is good. We're only 12 minutes in. There we go. I still want to use the palette knife too, which I think is a cool effect. Goes right in front of that thing. This should be... The only way I can understand this is if let's go into the layers section. Bubbles, white. Ah, see, it was never filled in. That's why. All right, black. Layer 16. Layer 16 is the dark layer. Nope, it didn't work. I keep having problems. And all because of this promised palette knife brush. Okay, there we go. All right, here's the palette knife brush. It's in this Rusty Nib collection. Way down at the bottom, there's a weirdo wash. Grindhouse palette knife. There's also a dry wash, which is almost as good. Let's try the dry wash first. See how it gives it kind of a glow effect? A really rough glow effect. I'm gonna have to do some erasing, some strategic erasing as well. Might be worthwhile to do the use the grindhouse or even the dry wash that I'm doing with white instead of black. In fact, maybe that would have been the clever the baller move right there to so we can see kind of a light around him. I don't know if you can see that. Can y'all see that? Let's make this brush. It's Rusty Nib, dry wash. or lower the size of it. And we're going to switch it to the eraser. Now, once again, I was watching Itai Monero, my new mentor. He's not really a mentor. I don't know him or anything like that. I just watch his videos. And he uses the smudge brush a lot. That's a brush I never use. I never touch smudge if I can help it. Maybe that's a brush a tool that I should be like really paying attention to. Because I'm liking these kind of organically noisy edges that it's creating. And like as long as you don't overdo it, you get. I mean, it feels like light to me. It feels like a light effect rather than like a fur effect or something like that. This feels pretty good. All right, same deal here. Oops. And I'm using a lighter touch. Like a full touch would have been, like that. I can actually go in with a light touch. Because what I care about is this noise. I like this noise effect. The other thing is, let's go back to white here for a second. I'm going to use this blobby pointillist to do stars. And there's even stars behind this figure. All right, that's a cool effect. What do you think? Can you see it? That took less time than I thought it would and feels pretty good. All right, so let's call this a page. I think we spent too much time on it already. And now I'm worried because I haven't got anything else done except for this one page. So I got at least one page done. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make sure that from now on, Spider's done in negative, but we're going to go ahead and paint him in black first and then negative him out, which I think is the right way to go. But just the way we start all of our panels, let's go ahead and start with the panel borders. And yeah, I think that'll do. Oh, it will not do. So I'm in the wrong layer. All right, let's make it real clear. This is panels. And this is pencils. By keeping your borders separate like that, and by keeping the pencils one as a lower opacity, you can always tell immediately when you're drawing on the wrong layer, which is pretty common. Like, oh shoot, I still got the old eraser up. How am I going to fix this? Let's change it to third grade art class. See how that does. I'm not liking it. let's give it something else. Inking. How about this one? And syrup. Syrup may not be the greatest eraser, but it is reliable. Oh, maybe it was okay what I was doing. Something like that. All right, but I'm not even doing it correctly. There we go. It's kind of funny. I keep having these flashback memories of the 70s as I'm doing this, and for some reason, one of the memories is like when I was a little kid. My dad had this boat store. He sold sailboats. We're a sailing family. Sailing was part of the tradition, but he only sold the really small ones like Hobie cats and lasers. Um, what I think falls under the definition of a sailing dinghy. No, some of these can be quite fast and nimble. My cousin was a championship sailor for a long time. Anyways, he's always going to like um, either be like a boat show at a mall or something like that. And I remember going to these malls, and you had to just find some place to occupy yourself. So you'd walk around. I remember one time there was a Halloween store, one of those pop-up Halloween stores. For some reason, I'm looking at these brushes, and I'm reminded of the environment of that crazy Halloween store. All right. There's this conversation between the two characters. Maybe there was some kind of rubber spider or something there that influenced. Like, I don't know why that memory comes up. It must have been something like that. But real vivid. And there's Stardust. I like to put a little shadow under his chin here. Between the eye line and the nose line, that's where the ear is. In this case, his ear is somewhat hidden by this little energy thing that's in the picture. And he's so upset that his hair has kind of become like this fiery burst going backwards. The image seems to transform into a symbol, almost. All right, let's pull the pencils off for a moment just to take a look. Oh, and here's me being stupid. I don't even have an ink layer up yet. I was drawing in the panels layer. So let's fix that. Inky. Now, it's an easy fix because the ink and the panels rarely coincide. Cut and paste. In this case, they did. Hold up. Cut and paste. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So this cut and paste should go over here and then pinch to the inky, and now it's exactly in the right place. So let's take the pencils out. Looking good, right? All right. This being Stardust, you want to have big shoulders. He's a big guy. I'm looking at my hand here. I'm wondering if I made his finger too long. No, that looks okay. Maybe it's a bit too long. I might just correct that. Because we're working at this size, it's not quite a huge size, but it's pretty big. We can really focus on doing those hatch marks, those shadow hatch marks again. Okay. Teeth, right? Here's a little trick with the teeth. The indent, a little triangle. And then if it's an outside line, there we go. There we go. We get a really gritted teeth look. Stardust has a very hot temper. He doesn't like to lose, but it's not like he's crazy. Like he could lose. So that's when he doesn't like to be embarrassed either. But is he prone to bullying? Yes. All right. Now, let's bring back the pencil layers just so we can do this spider. We might even have his form sort of fade off into nothingness. Because remember, he's just going to be an outline. He's just going to be like this ghostly form. One thing we want to avoid when we're doing negative like this is a big shadow, because the big shadow will become a big white blotch, and it won't look like a shadow, even if it's meant to be a shadow, even if it's in the exact right place. It just won't read like one because of the color. So, like, I'm worried about that part over there. All right. So we're going to do basically the same trick here, and here. I don't know if I can do both, as we did on the other page. So we'll see. But to really get away with this, let's do this. We're going to put in our black on its own layer. Let's call this blackout. Blackout goes beneath inky, right? And one layer. There's another layer. There's another layer. This is blackout, right? And then we're running it almost over time. So over here on inky, let's take blackout out for a second. We're going to grab our guy again. I just want to make sure I did this correctly because it took me a second to figure out how to do it. Cut and paste. So now the spider is on his own level. Bring inky back. Open this. I think we choose curves. And there he is. And we have this. This is like a. Here's he Ditko's the question. Except we're going to fade this in. This is going to be a nimbus of light to show that Stardust, is as wicked and terrible as he is, kind of represents the light. And then, of course, our guardian is the darkness. But we also have to go into this blackout layer and grab that palette knife. In this case, just the Grindhouse dry wash. And same deal. Come on. Different eraser. Where is it? Rusty nib. There it is. And now that's a cool symbolic panel because we have light and the darkness, right? And we were going to fill in back here and we're going to do some stars and stuff, but we've kind of created a real neat effect by doing it this way. All right, we're at 30 minutes. Please like, follow, and subscribe. There'll be more. Page, what is this? 4 has begun. 1, 2, 3, 4. Page 4 has begun. We got a good start on it. There'll be more every day, and you know, who knows? After I do this one, I'm probably gonna have to sit down and do a block of 4 or 6 story pages, maybe 3 or 4 story pages of the next part, because we've got to switch our scene to Prometheus Powers, who the story is really about, right? So we got to switch over to them and get rid of this this sort of look in at the villain. This is really just to set up why the villain is going to do what he does. All right, talk to you later.